Hey, listen, man. I keep on telling you guys I do this.
You hit it out of the motherfucking park, bro.
I don't know why people keep on doubting me.
You hit it out of the park,
I'm coming with the vibe. That was Paradise by LL Cool J featuring Amerie.
The GOAT.
Man.
The GOAT.
Man, I've been saying I'm waiting for LL Cool J.
Come back.
Verse, like anything he has for me.
Anything LL.
But I even watch NCIS Los Angeles.
Oh, you have to.
Oh, man.
You have to.
Oh, man. Huh. Welcome back to the Two Stubborn Nigerians Podcast. I am here.
Yeah, you are.
Your co-host.
Come on, man.
50%.
In the flesh.
Listen, man, I just keep on doing this.
Live in living colour.
I'm getting better.
Aging like fine wine.
Damn. I am here. King Kex.
Come on, man. Kekevelli.
Yes, sir.
Kekville.
I'm here.
A Tribe Called Kek.
Been here.
Bruv.
Yo.
The sixth man.
Never the sixth man. Don't do that to me. Look at me. I'm here for MVP. You're going to be a sixth man?
You can be MVP off the bench.
This guy's crazy.
You ain't tried to do the Van Fleet role?
Nah.
We're not a basketball podcast.
Please to start. Don't do that.
We're not a basketball podcast.
Yeah, across the table from me.
Oh, my.
The guy who needs no introduction. But the podcast also doesn't need an introduction. We already started the introduction. So we're going to introduce him as well.
Bam.
DJ P.
Come on, bro.
Podcast P.
Come on, man.
The only P that matters.
That's it.
Paul Abayo.
Power to the people. We're back to do maintenance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We gonna rock like crack when it came in.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Evening.
Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Good night. I don't know when you're listening to this.
You can't say good night because that's when people go to bed, innit?
But they may be up.
Damn.
Working.
Lying?
In the kitchen.
Gee.
Listen, man. In your car. In your home. On your TV. On your laptop. On your phone. Welcome in. We are the Two Stubborn Nigerians.
Yes,
Track 5. We're flying through it, man.
Listen, man. We're pros now.
Bro.
We're actually professionals. Like, we can have professional opinions.
It's on my resume.
Man.
That's a CV for my people in the United Kingdom. I was just tailoring to our Texas audience. They call it resumes out there. You know?
Yeah, they've been out here. Speaking of which, man, let's just, because I don't think because last week it was Singapore. That was the new market on town. Do you know what I'm saying? But something happened this week. Something crazy happened. Nuts.
We went to a land where it's cold.
Yo. A place that, for my people in the UK,
listen,
all your frozen goods
come on, man.
Hey, Iceland.
Welcome. It's great to have you.
I've been waiting.
We've been waiting.
Listen, man, just enjoy. Take off your shoes.
My Icelandic people, relax, kick back, get yourself a warm cup of coffee, hot chocolate. We're here to give you the musical breakdown like no one else can.
Come on, man. Who else?
Who else?
Who
else? If not us, then who?
No one. There's no one.
Man, how you feeling today?
Hey, man. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
How you been feeling about your recent performances? Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're making headline news. How have you been feeling?
You know what? Yeah, I've been feeling like we've been on the tear, man. Like, we've been doing what we do.
Yeah.
Is there room for improvement? Yeah, but there's always room for improvement. You know, until we get that MVP and the championship in the same year, there's room for improvement. We haven't hit our target.
I feel you.
Job's not finished.
Not at all.
But as much as we're not a championship,
come on, man.
As much as we're not a basketball podcast, hey, listen, man, I've said it.
Yeah.
I said I was gonna say it. I have said it.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Listen, man.
We got a champion in the room.
Listen, man.
Hey, it's gone through trials and tribulations, but we're here.
Listen, we're not a basketball podcast.
We're not.
But it's been 10 years, man. Listen, I was there. I was up watching that Game 7 in 2010 where we beat the Celtics. And we back, baby.
Hey, listen, man. Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Listen, man.
Obviously, for the people who don't know what we're talking about, the Lakers won another championship.
Yeah, we did. Our 17th.
LeBron's 4th.
For you, Boston. LeBron's 4th. It's not about LeBron, though. It's about the team.
It's about the team, but you know.
But the team is LeBron. So, listen, man.
Hey, man. All I know is Raptors are back next year.
Oh, no doubt. We're
back.
No doubt.
We went outside this year, but we're back. We're back next year.
We're not a basketball podcast.
At all.
We're not a basketball podcast. Man, on a serious note, though, like, track 5. So we want to say thank you to everyone who's been here from track 1, people who've been here from track 5, and anyone in between. Like, all of you who are listening, every listen, like, you see how much we shout out just random markets, because every listen means so much to us. And, like, every bit of feedback that we get means so much to us. Like I say, the fact that you take the time out of your days and busy schedules, because I know every single one of you does such amazing things in your individual lives. The fact that you take a minute, let alone 10 minutes, let alone an hour and a half, let alone 2 hours, like track 4, to listen to us is one thing. But then to actually engage and give us feedback and say you like this, or you didn't like this, or you think we can improve on this, it's truly just humbling and a blessing. So we truly thank each and every single one of you. Can't stress that enough.
Honestly, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, as much as we thought this was gonna be a good idea, now that we're doing it and we're getting the feedback, it's humbling.
Man, it's truly humbling. It's truly humbling. And like I say, it's two people who, if we weren't doing this on a microphone, we'd be doing this regardless.
Honestly,
to be able to do it on a microphone and see people like enjoy it, and to see people hear what we say and go out and listen to these artists that we're speaking about and like these songs, or potentially not like the songs and come back and say I wasn't really feeling this. And
you know what? I think that's the craziest thing. Like, after episode 1, to see a lot of the people who I know listened, all of a sudden listening to Armani Caesar.
Come on, man.
They're like, whoa.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. People are listening. Like, it's
beautiful.
Crazy.
If you don't know, we're the Hive, by the way. So, like, anytime Armani Caesar does anything, you can come here.
Yes, sir.
You can come here.
Yes, sir.
And it will be reviewed right here.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
Man.
As soon as possible. Shout out Armani Caesar.
Yeah, you know what, yeah? As much as... That's the crazy thing as well, yeah? Now that we started doing this podcast... all of a sudden, you guys have taken away my music guy from me.
No, for real.
I'll be listening to it, I'm like, what does Paul think about
it? I can't even message it.
Yeah, that's
content God.
I'm not allowed to know until the podcast.
Content God. Also, shout out Pot of Paper. Saw our little trailer preview that we put out.
That's my guy now.
Loved it. Bruv, that's our guy. He's family. He's part of the team.
Because he listened to us.
Yeah.
And we made him laugh. So now we're best friends.
Now we're best friends.
Who knows? Like, you could have seen.
Special guest. Like, one, who knows?
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to anytime the podcast. Anytime. Man, we just being stupid. We have what I believe will be a great pod in store today.
Yes, sir.
You had the vibes that King Kek started off with. We're going to keep it right in that pocket. Because today... we're getting into a bag. We haven't really gotten into this bag sufficiently yet.
I've been waiting.
But people, like we said, bro, we said it a couple episodes ago. We love hip hop. We love rap. We love all you rapidy rap rappers. Yes, but both of us,
we grew up on one thing.
We grew up on one thing and one thing only: the rhythm and the blues.
Man,
the rhythmic blues.
You can't forget about that.
The R&B.
That's important.
That's all we're here to do, guys. Today, that's all we're here to do. We're just gonna talk R&B. Listen, if you are an R&B head,
don't click off.
Don't click off.
This is going to be the one that gets you into R&B.
Bro, we're here to talk. Just here to talk. We're really going to keep you on R&B that's come out this year in 2020, because there has been a lot.
Yes, sir.
A lot. But before we get into this year's R&B, we want to kick it back, as we've been doing for the past few tracks now. We're trying to give you guys some content about who we are. Like we say, there are some of you on the mic who know me and don't necessarily know Rahim. Some of you who know Rahim and don't necessarily know me. There are some of you who know both of us and know both of us for a long time. And then there are some of you, like my people out in Iceland, like my people out in Singapore, like my people out in Texas, like my homies out in Washington. You know, like my people out in Italy.
Bro, Ireland.
I don't know. But like my people all over the gaff who may not necessarily know either of us. And so we want to give you a little background into who we are, why we're here, why we feel like we're qualified to speak on this, and give you a little deeper insight into what makes us tick in this music world, right? So last week, in what was a sensationally informative discussion, a sensationally I
know a lot of you guys see, because we're gonna get new people listening. Right? They don't even know that you really do this, because they just, again, sensationally informative.
Oh, don't worry. Listen,
this guy's in his bag. Like,
I'm in my lexicon bag. They don't understand. I'm in my vocabulary bag.
Come on, man. Does this.
But yeah, last week on track 4, what more can I say? We gave you a really a vibrant conversation. relating to an album that we feel give you a snapshot onto who we are. And so this week we want to continue in that same vein. And so, Rahim, my question for you today is, since we're keeping it R&B, is what is like an R&B album from like any period of time, you can define it, that really like, I like to say has a stranglehold on you, that just like you always go back to it, you love it, you live with it, you would suggest it to any and everyone, like you listen to it and there's not a single skippable song. Like what is that R&B album for you? It can be one that maybe everyone knows and that everyone listens to, but you want to give your perspective, or something that maybe not everyone that you know listens to. What for you is that album?
See, this was a tough one.
Yeah.
Because at first, I was gonna go with something easy. I was thinking Kaleidoscope Dream.
Kaleidoscope Dream.
That's one of my favorite R&B albums of all time.
Dream. Oh my goodness.
That is perfection.
That Chef's Kiss.
Man, not a single skippable song.
Not a single skippable song.
But my thing is that was too easy.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let me think of an album that not everyone knows. People might know songs off of it, but not everyone knows, right? I just love.
Okay.
Man, the year was 2016.
The year was 2016.
I was in first year.
He was in first year. That's the first year of university. That's your freshman year for my people out in Minnesota. Shout out the Minnesota crew. Go first.
Yeah, I was in my room.
He was in his room.
And I heard Childish Gambino is about to release an album. Now at this point, this is coming off of because of the internet, right? And at this point, I'm thinking Childish Gambino, one of my favorite rappers, and at that given point, right?
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I'm waiting. Patient.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, I can't wait to hear this new Childish Gambino album. And then I see the cover, Awaken My Love.
Awaken My Love.
He releases, this is a week before the album, he releases the song Me and Your Mama.
He releases the song Me and Your Mama.
Now, Me and Your Mama, the beat just rocks.
It rocks.
But we said off mic, no one really lets the beat rock anymore.
No one really just lets the beat rock.
But Childish said, no. Oh.
Y'all gonna hear these, melodies.
But at least 2 minutes of just the beat rocking before I even say anything.
Yeah.
And at first I heard this whole song, and it still didn't click in my head that, he's coming on a different vibe. I was like, he's coming artistic. Yeah. I can't wait. The album came out, I was like, I can't wait to hear him rap, because I haven't heard him rap in so long.
That's right.
But he even released the Kauai tape.
Yeah, the Kauai tape. Yeah. That little tape.
But I waited to hear him rap. Fam, the whole album, he was singing.
Whole time.
And you know what? The first time I heard it, I said, I never want to listen to this again. I'm so upset. But there was something about Me and Your Mama that made me come back. And then there was something about Redburn that made me come back.
Yeah.
And eventually, I realized, I've been listening to this album non-stop for the whole week.
Yeah.
And it's 2020 now. The album came out 2016.
It's still.
If I hear a song, I'm letting the whole album.
The whole album rocks. Yeah.
Man, what an album, man! This is one of my favorites. Something that I would say has a stranglehold on me. Something that anytime anyone tells me, oh, they don't really like Childish, you're like, he's not really a serious guy. Go listen to this album.
Yeah.
You crazy? This guy is just an artist. We're gonna get into him later as well.
Yeah. The thing is, when you have talent, you don't have to be serious.
Honestly,
most of them aren't serious. Like a lot of them, like there's an artist who will remain nameless who literally had one of the greatest beats of all time and decided to say poop diddy scoop. Like when you're creative, I don't
care what anyone says. It's
a hit. There's another artist who, for right now, will remain nameless, who has one of the best hits of all time. Who said, "Bitch, I'm a cow. I go moo."
And it's
a hit. Like when you're creative, you're creative.
Man, what about you, man? What about you?
Oh man, I was tossing and turning. I was tossing and turning between two albums for this, right? Because I knew exactly where I wanted to go. So I'm gonna go with this one.
Right.
And it's good because you went male, so I'll go female.
Okay.
The year is 2005.
Man, set the scene.
First of all, shout out to my sister because without her, I don't know this album.
Right.
I've been rocking with this album since 2005, from before I even knew it.
Crazy.
The year is 2005. The album is 14 songs. It's 50 minutes.
Wow, what a good length. Before
great.
It was good length.
It was a great length. The woman is in a gold dress on the cover.
Oh
with
my God.
Her name on this side.
Oh my God.
Her name on the other side.
Oh man, the Queen?
The Queen. It's M and it's C. It's Mariah and it's Carrie. And the album is the Emancipation of Me.
What an album.
Listen, from track 1 to track 14.
What
hits.
Album?
There's not a single skippable second.
Yo, that album could be a greatest hits by itself.
Bro, listen, it's one of those things. If you haven't listened to the album, it's crazy because you probably heard at least 10 of the songs.
Yep.
Like, it is greatest hits of album. Like, it's like that. We belong together. I gotta shake it up. What? Man. That's your first 3 songs.
Man.
And then you go down the list, Say Something with Snoop Dogg, Mine Again, Twister coming in on One and Only, got me running around in circles.
Oh man.
I shouldn't start, because if I start, I'll really sing like all 50 minutes and we'll lose followers. But like,
special album.
Nelly to the Floor, Jermaine Dupri, So Def, shout out. Shout out. Everyone who is involved with this album, absolutely shout out. This album, I listen to all the time. Like, it's my, whenever I say to people, like, I say all the time, I'm going into shower to do a world tour. It's because I'm playing this album and I'm choreo in the shower. Like,
and you know what's so funny? I remember in third year even, like, I remember you messaged me about this album.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, this album has nothing but hits on it.
Yeah.
And I went back and listened to it. And then for the rest of the year, it was just something that would randomly.
Whenever you just need an album.
Yep.
And good vibes.
She's really cool.
She's really good. Like,
I saw on Twitter the other day. Someone said, "OO's 2000s Mariah versus 90s Mariah," and it's a close.
It is a close one. It is a toss up. Now I saw that same one, and personally, shout out to the woman who did it. Personally, I didn't like the matchups she was getting, which made 90s like 90s one in the landslide on that little thread. But I was like, bro, you can really, because this album. And then she has the E equals MC squared from the 2000s also. But like, no, this album, The Emancipation of Mimi, that's my album. Like, just draws me in. Yeah. Every time I think I'm out, I just have to, I'm running around in circles because of this album.
Man, that's a good choice. I respect that choice a lot.
Thank you. So today, like I said, we're keeping it in this R&B vein.
This pocket.
In this R&B bag. In this pocket. We're in this bubble.
Come on, man. We're not an NBA podcast.
We're not at all.
We're not trying to get into that.
We're not trying to. But I'm just making the references. I'm just finding the linkages. Masterstream. I had to piece it all together. But just staying in this R&B vein, in this R&B pocket, and we really want to give R&B a shine for the R&B that came out this year, 2020. And so I want to start by like asking you a question, or to ask you to expand on a point, if I may. So it was earlier this year. I was still in the United States. It probably would have been about March, April time, right?
Definitely.
We were talking. It was April time, right? You and I were talking and about music at the time, first quarter, and you were saying that you felt like R&B was on top this year, especially ahead of hip hop and rap. And you said, like, at the time, you said specifically, like, there was not a lot of rap that had dropped and not a lot of good rap that had dropped, and you felt that R&B is just, like, amazing R&B had dropped through that point. We're now in October, fourth quarter. Do you still feel that way? What are your thoughts on R&B that's dropped this year? What are your thoughts on that point that you made in April? Just expand on that topic and just, like, if you will, like, set the scene of what you think R&B has done and R&B men, women, and people have been able to like showcase this year in 2020. I
mean, just setting the scene. I remember as well when I said it, because that was first quarter. We had gotten, I want to say, Pop Smoke had just come out. The first EP.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, right? But at the same time, it was like Manelia had set the tone for the year. Yeah. With Say Yeah.
Yeah.
Had already set the tone. And then there was a music drought that we usually get in the first quarter. Usually not a lot of music dropping.
Yeah.
And then the first few like notable albums that came out, for me anyway, that was like, no matter what happens, I'm downloading these albums. You get not Party Next Door, you get The Weeknd.
Yeah, After Hours.
And you get Childish Gambino drop same day, right?
Yeah.
And both of those albums, Childish Gambino's album was, to me, one of the albums of the year immediately, just because of how artistic he was. The Weeknd was cool, had a few songs I liked, but then the week after you get Party, and I love Party's album. That was my personal album, innit?
That's a controversial take, by the way.
Party's album?
Yeah. I know, personally, I know a lot of people who like, and you and I go back and forth on Party, but like, I know a lot of people who say that like Party Next Door stands, like he could do crazy things to them, type stands, who like, when they heard that, they're like, this isn't bullshit.
That's crazy.
I said that to you at the time because we had that discussion at the time, and like you've stayed consistent. I'm surprised you stayed consistent because I said to you at the time, I was like, we'll reevaluate in 3 months. So I don't think you'll like it.
It only gets better for me, to be honest.
Now I will say it does have Song of the Year.
Yeah, easily.
Easily.
It's not a competition.
It's one of the great songs of all time. Because you shouldn't hold your breath.
Yo, that song is what it says on the cover.
Don't hold your breath.
Yo.
Don't wait on my love.
I heard number 2 was your man now.
Who is number 2? We can't get to it because we're not a basketball podcast. And he doesn't want number 2 anymore.
Oh my god. Nah, let's not even... Why even getting into it? Because then later on that same year, this same year, obviously, we heard Chicago from Drake.
We did.
And the standout was Giveon.
Yeah.
He told us how to say his name now.
Yeah.
Because last time there was a bit of confusion.
There was bad confusion. He had the podcast. He had me fumbling.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So we heard Giveon. Giveon's take.
Baby,
wow.
Won't you meet me by the
wow.
beach? Too early, baby. Maybe you can show me things.
And at that point, in all this time, there wasn't really any standout rap album. Like the rap albums that we had gotten at that point were like meh.
You see, and this is where I disagreed, and we're not going to get into rap. I just want, because this is where I disagreed with you at the time, and I think I still disagree with you, and I'd really want to see your perspective on this. Because what I was trying to explain at the time, which was hard over the phone, was like, that made, what you were saying made sense, but it also, to me, I felt you were wrong, because you, at that point, admittedly, hadn't listened to a lot of the rap albums that people were saying were the best rap albums of the year. So, like, we have a mutual friend who to this day, still says that Lil Baby's My Turn is album of the year. And I have that album in my top 5, still to this day. And at the time, you hadn't listened to it.
Yeah.
At the time, you hadn't listened to Lulu by Conway the Machine.
Yeah.
At the time, you and I both, I believe, or if you have, correct me, haven't listened to Uzi's album, right?
Yeah, no.
And if I talk to anyone who listens to Uzi's album, they'll tell you it's the best album in music this year. Even review, like, whether you respect the blogs and magazines, most of them have Uzi's album as the best album this year. So what I was saying is, it's hard to have that take that R&B is, like, washing hip-hop if the most prominent albums in hip-hop aren't being listened to.
See, and my thing is, because we say it all the time, we joke about it all the time here as well, especially Griselda.
Griselda by Fashion Rebel.
They're so hip-hop. Yeah. As in, like, it's crazy that we started our first ever.
It made no sense. It made 0 sense.
So, like, when I'm talking, like, even in these, like, discussions, like, Uzi, yeah, Lil Baby, yeah. But Griselda are very much, in my head anyway, they're, like, for me personally, I'm not really counting them in.
The whole scene.
Yeah, because when I start counting them in the whole scene, then it's like, oh, okay, hip-hop is, like, washing everyone.
Okay.
Because those guys really, really do what they do.
Okay. So then, let's take it all into consideration and fast forward to where we are now in October. We've had a year. You just named some of the R&B albums that came out. Like I said, do you still feel the same way? Because
I definitely don't feel... Well, I don't feel the same way anymore.
Yeah.
But that's literally because as of nearing the end of summer to now, there've been like some really, really good, prominent like rap albums.
It really has. It really, really has.
But before then, R&B, there was a point, for more than half the year this year, R&B was dominating in my opinion.
So what then, you touched upon them, talk to me about the albums, singles, artists that you felt have absolutely dominated this year for you in R&B.
I mean, if I'm picking one...
Yeah, start me off with one. Take me to where like, when you think of R&B in 2020, what album instantly
Instantly... The first one I have to go to, and it's because it's the last one that I've really been listening to a lot, especially in the last couple of weeks. B7 by Brandy. Man. Listen, we've spoken about this album before, but I'm gonna speak about it again.
Let's because we didn't really go deep.
Man, this album here, Paul. Because you know what it is about this album that gets to me every time?
Yeah.
It starts off with Saving All My Love, yeah?
It does.
And between Saving All My Love and Lucid Dreams, I already love the album.
Bro, it gets you within the first like 5 songs. It is.
But then that's because it gets you. You said it right. It gets you.
But if I can, it gets you within the first 5 songs.
Yeah.
And I don't believe the top 3 songs on this album are even within the first 5 songs.
Because then once Borderline starts playing, it's like a
whole new project.
I come out of my body.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at myself enjoy the song.
Like, yeah.
Because that Borderline, wow.
And then you hear for me, like, you hear those vocals on Say Something and the way she's just layering and structuring her voice, the tone and pitch.
Man.
Like, it's just, you don't hear vocals like this anymore anywhere.
Right, and then you get to No Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yo, what a song.
That little 3-song stretch of Borderline, No Tomorrow, Say Something is
ridiculous.
You can't compete with it.
Ridiculous. Like, again, like, this album here, man, she even brought Chance out, and Chance
did really well on this album.
We're going to have a conversation at some point about Chance. I don't think he deserves the slander he gets.
Yes, he does.
I understand why he gets slander he gets.
He deserves all the slander he gets.
Because Chance has only really had one bad album.
Yeah, but he's corny. You can't have bad albums be corny. Look at Logic.
But he doesn't have bad albums. He has one bad album.
Look at Logic.
No, because Logic had a stretch of bad albums.
That's not fair. We're not a Logic podcast. We're sticking to R&B. But no, Chance really kills this album.
Nah, yeah.
He does.
Man, this whole album, different, man. Oh, man. If we get talking about the outro...
Bye, Bipolar.
Man, I said bye, Polar.
But even before that, Love Again, Daniel Caesar. Hey.
Man.
Hey.
And the thing is, was this song on Daniel Caesar's album?
I can't remember. Let's check it out.
I think it was, because I definitely, when I heard it, I recognized it immediately.
Did Daniel Caesar's album come out this year?
No, it came out last year.
Last year, right?
I'm pretty sure it came out last year. Yeah, definitely. It was on Daniel Caesar's last album.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man, the whole album I'm just happy with, man. Like,
It's a beautiful album. It really is. And we don't get vocals like this anymore.
At all.
To the extent that we used to, especially when we were coming up as kids. But so, like, to hear artists like Brandy do what she did on this album, it's always just so... It hits you. Like I said, I think we said it on track 2, Say Her Name. Like, there's something about when R&B artists just come onto a song to flex and remind you that, like, yo, I can really, like, I was raised on this vocal shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, my pitch and my tone and the levels I can hit, like, none of you other people are fucking with me. And she really, really did that.
She really did. I tweeted it, like, after I heard the album for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember I tweeted it immediately, like, yeah, this type of album I want to fall in love to.
Oh, facts. You're making too much sense right there.
When it comes to certain artists, especially if you're an R&B artist, if you can't make me want to sing along to your...
Oh, come on, man. I should be risking in public shame and embarrassment every time I listen to your music. Every single time.
I should be... If I have you in my headphones and I'm walking in a public area...
Yeah.
I should really just want to have the urge to just start...
Bro, listen, not shout out, but shout out Face Mask. Because now I can do it, like, I can be walking in public with my R&B in my ears and just be mouthing songs. Whereas before, people start looking at me like I'm crazy, like I'm crack. But, like, nah, listen, that's it. Like, I should be every single time wanting to be involved.
Honestly. So, with that in mind, I want to take you to another album. Now, as much as we're not doing album reviews today, I want to mention this album because it's an album that we said we were going to get to this week.
Let's do it. If it isn't love, why I keep coming back? I keep coming back home. That wasn't Trey, guys. That wasn't Trey. I didn't just play it.
We're not recording today.
He's not here. He's not here in person. I know what you were thinking.
Yeah, I can't stand this guy.
Let's do it. That's why you're sat down. Let's do it. Album review. Well, not album review. We'll give it a little quick once over.
We'll go over it.
Trey songs.
Back home.
How long is it?
22 songs, 1 hour, 8 minutes.
It's a long album.
Listen, what other podcasts are going to consistently give you time and number of songs?
Every single time.
Man.
I know that's why you guys keep coming back.
Come on, man.
I know that's what got Iceland in the bits.
They had to come.
They had to come.
They weren't getting it anywhere else.
How long is this? Why would I Google that?
Crazy.
22 songs and an hour and 8 minutes. It's a lot now. We've done long albums on this podcast very recently. Edna was a long album, pretty much the same night, Pot of Paper. Yeah. This is a long R&B album. What did you think?
You know what's crazy? And this is where I'm happy that we gave it an extra week.
Yeah.
Because last week, when I thought we were going to be reviewing this album, I was ready to come in and say that I didn't like it. That the album wasn't for me, and that I thought it was a lot of mids.
Yeah.
Now, having gone away, it was one of those where, you know, when you hear a song and the song is good enough for it to keep on bringing you back? Similar to what I said with the Childish album.
Yeah.
Where Me and Your Mama was good enough to keep on bringing me back.
Yeah.
Circles kept on bringing me back.
Yeah, that's a great song.
Because Circles is different.
Circles is a really good song.
But again, I wasn't really here for the rest of the album. But because of the way I listen to music, I like to let the whole thing run through, right?
Yeah.
And then when I discovered how good Sleepless Nights is featuring Davido.
Really good song. Shout out Davido.
Man, again, when I heard that song and I realized what that song was, I tweeted out, this is Davido's album now.
Yeah.
Because that song, how can you have... You're the best on the whole album.
Yeah.
On the whole album. But then again, cool. The rest of the album wasn't really doing it for me. Now, it was only a few days ago. So this is like more than a week the album's been out now, yeah? And I'm walking to the local shop. And I'm just listening to the whole album run through. And it hits different all of a sudden. You didn't catch that.
I thought.
Crazy.
I saw you did that.
And all of a sudden, I'm just enjoying it a lot more. I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to be moving and listening to this album.
Yeah.
But I get home and I play the album again whilst I'm playing PS4 and all that.
Yeah.
And it isn't hitting again. And then this morning, I had a massive, massive, massive realization.
Oh, God.
I don't like songs 1 to 4 on this album.
So you don't like that is Be My Guest, Save It, Hands On, and Lost and Found?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those songs there, they're not bad songs, but they're just...
They don't set the table well. And so you're in a bad place instantly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like Circles, it kind of brings me back.
Okay.
But not to the point where it's redeemed me thinking that this is a bad album.
Right.
So this morning, I cut those songs out, I listened to the whole project, and I realized, I like every other song on this album.
But those first 4?
Those first 4 are just bad to me.
That's very interesting.
And once I realized that, I can now sit here and tell you guys, I really like this album. But those first 4 songs, just not for me.
That's interesting. It's tough. I had a similar tough time reviewing this album. It is long. And it feels long. Like I said, we've reviewed a couple long albums on this podcast now, and they don't feel long. Like, even though they are long, they're spaced really well, they're sequenced well enough. Like, it feels like we said about both Edna and Training Day 3.
Yeah.
They're long and they need to be long, and it's okay for them to be long. This doesn't need to be long. This does not need to be 22 songs. It does not need to be an hour, 8 minutes. It doesn't need to be that long. And so it was really hard to give this a solid review because I really couldn't get over that. Especially because I feel like you could have done this album with a lot of the songs removed. It would have been a better album, a different album. Like you just said, the first 4 songs didn't necessarily grab you. Yeah. So it's like, if they don't grab you, you take them off, it becomes a different album. To me, I liked Be My Guest, so I was surprised to say that you didn't.
It's not that I didn't like it. It was just that I didn't like it. Especially, I feel like if that song was in the middle, it would have hit different. But to open up with it wasn't really for me.
I like it as an intro. I like it. I do. I liked it as an intro. I think it was nice there. There's some good songs. There's some really good moments, really good songs on this album. Trey did okay. Obviously, he's one of these artists who you have 2, 3. I mean, in my personal estimation, I'm a huge fan. You have 4 albums, which is pantheon great R&B albums. You can't really talk to it. So it is nowhere near any of those. It's not Ready. It's not Passion, Pain and Pleasure. It's not Chapter 5. But it's a decent project.
See it.
You had me give a little bit of Back Home. I really liked that song. I really liked it when it came out earlier this summer. I really like it on this album where it is song number 10 right in the middle. Sleepless Nights with Davido.
See, and I think it's important to point out, especially with an artist like Trey Songz, he's different to other artists that we might talk about because Trey Songz is already coming from a position of solidified in this.
Wholly solidified. You don't have you have nothing to prove to no one. You can make whatever music you want to make, I feel like he did that. You know, even something as simple as having your son laughing as the outro track. You know what I mean? That's like really nice and cute. And you're allowed to do that for the simple fact that like
your Trey Songz.
I did already take it.
Yo, this guy came out and said, "Which one of y'all is go home trigger?" And it works every single time.
Like he, like I'm the one who invented it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
man,
like I make niggas wasn't really saying before I told them to say You know what I'm saying? Like, bitches wasn't really doing bottoms up before I told Nikki to come and do bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
man, he does this.
Like, he really yeah, he's coming from a position of like pure solidification in this game, and so you get to be loose with what you want to do. I just feel like a shorter album would have been better. Like I said, you can take maybe 10, 15 songs off this album and put them into their own separate album, and it maybe would have been a better, more cohesive tape. But I don't want to take away from the songs. Like I said, I really love Back Home. Like, there's a reason that I did blurt it out on this microphone, because I really love that song. Like, I loved it. Like I said, I loved it when it came out during the summer. I love 2020 riots. How many times, like, talking about the summer and the summer of protest that we saw, and the times that we continue to live in, and the need to just continue to fight and abolish these superstructures and systems that don't fight for us. I like that. I liked his take on that.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a serious song there.
Yeah.
Just the production on that alone, different.
Great point.
And then Uncle, you already knew it was a hit, because what else are you gonna expect when you see featuring Ty Dolla $ign?
Featuring Ty Dolla $ign.
That's about to come out
next
week.
Man.
But Uncle, different. GLA, Get a Love Affair, different. Rain, at first I didn't like it. I liked it better on the Swede project, but again, great song.
That's fair.
Tug of War, amazing song. Again, I like. There's actually no songs on this album I don't like.
The back end of this album is really, so that's what I'm saying. If you cut it down and you take maybe 10 to 15 songs off this album, you get a really good tape.
10 to 15 songs. 15 songs off of a 22-song album?
Yeah.
And if you live, and I did the math, 7 songs. Wow, look at the quick maths. Where else? Where else
are you getting this mathematics?
I'm a qualified engineer, so
that's true. You should, but still.
Honestly.
Still. No, I feel you.
Nah, man. I feel like I would have been happy if this album was 15 songs. I would have been happy.
Yeah.
You live and you learn.
Shout out Trey Songz, because I mean, he's giving me a lifetime of hits.
Honestly, I can't complain.
A lifetime of hits. Can I transition us?
Yes, sir.
Because I gotta go to Slauson, California,
man,
Los Angeles. Pisces. I gotta give him Janae. The album Chilombo came out this year. The deluxe edition.
Yeah.
It comes in at 29 songs, 1 hour and 32 minutes.
And you see,
that's the deluxe.
The deluxe. That's what stopped me from listening to the deluxe, by the way.
No, I didn't listen to the deluxe. So I'm gonna skip the deluxe and take you to the OG, which is Chilombo.
Yes, sir.
20 songs, 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So this album came out, and for me, I mean, it's Janae.
Yes, sir.
Anyone who knows me knows that I'm in a one-way love affair with Janae. Like.
Yeah, this is dangerous territory, because the way I know you can talk about Janae, we might be here for a whole
we may be here for a long last time, because like me, that's someone who was like literally fighting big 6'3" linebackers so I could get to the front and see Janae at Wireless. Like that's me, and like me that I was really ready to like open up a certain website account so that people would pay me minimum of $500 so I could go to the Janae, not only meet and greet, but soul and healing session prior to COVID shutting down. Like, I was deadly, and everyone knows me too. I'm deadly serious. Because how can Janae be in my city doing soul session meet and greet, so I'm not there?
I can't lie, I'll fork out whatever money. Yeah. I know my soul will be healed.
So healed. So I was really excited and really anticipating this album. I think it came out earlier this year. I think it was like February time. It was definitely COVID locking down the world came out.
Yeah, it definitely was.
And I remember listening to this album, like I said, really excited. One, I was really excited because to me, Janae had the best song of 2019 with Triggered.
Okay.
Came out at the end. I think that is a phenomenal song. Like the writing on that is why to me Janae is untouched when it comes to like her pocket of R&B, because no one can do that. Like the songwriting, the storytelling, the emotion that can come through. Just go figure. You were the trigger. Like to do that is impeccable. And then you get a song which she also released before the album came out, like None of Your Concern. Now the album says it's featuring Big Sean. I don't listen to Big Sean's album. Big Sean should not be on that song. No, he did not. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Don't ever do that. No. Shut up. Listen, those two need to stop. Listen, they need to stop working together. All right, it's enough. It's enough. Give me another 2088 and go away. Stop it. Just go get married.
On his album,
I didn't need it. I think they do it too much. Yeah, I think they do it too much because you're giving me the same song.
On Body Language.
Yes.
You didn't like Body Language?
I didn't say I didn't like Body Language. I like the song. I don't need it because you're doing it every single time. And you don't talk... Again, listen, None of Your Concern is a beautiful, beautiful song, right? You hear what Janae's talking about this song.
Yeah.
Why does Big Sean then come on and say, I made you come 9 times in one day? I don't need sex talk on this song. I don't need sex talk on the song. No, but listen, I don't need sex talk on the song. If you want to give me sex talk, do it on Body Language. You both just went through a breakup, very public, and you got back together. You have that in your bag. Talk about that. So, but for me, None of Your Concern came out before the album came out. Beautiful song. And then maybe like 2 weeks before the album came out, maybe less than a month. I Know You Love Fucking Me. Like Pussy Fairy came out and she did she did her thing in the way that only Janae can do. So my excitement for this album was on 1000.
Yeah.
Then it came out. And my excitement dropped.
See, you're not the only person who's told me that.
Listen, it is a good album.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the issue. So Janae is really good at two. She's not really good. She is exceptional at 2 different things.
Right.
One is creating a certain vibe for her albums. Like you will just vibe out to her albums. If you're a smoker, you'll roll some shit, light some shit, smoke it. Put on a Janae album, vibe to a Janae album. Just a perfect album. Just sit down and vibe. Yeah. Right. Then the other thing she's exceptional at is her writing. Like her writing is top tier. Like the way in which you go to songs, whether it's The Worst, whether it's Why Aren't You Smiling, Waiting, Trip. Like there are just songs where I say it all the time, and she does it because every now and then she'll just dip into her rapper bag and she'll start rapping on you for no reason, but it's amazing. Like, but she has that type of like lyrical skill where like she'll take you on an adventure in a song in the way she writes, and she does that on Triggered. She does that on None of Your Concern, and for what the song is, she also does that on Pussy Fairy.
Right.
That is my issue. Is that throughout the rest of this album, she's not speaking about a damn thing. So the vibe is still the perfect Janae vibe. I go through this album all the time because I love the vibe of this album.
The vibe is crazy.
One Way Street is a great vibe. I'm Trying to Smoke is a great vibe. Happiness Over Everything. Great vibe. Lightning and Thunder with John Legend. Great vibe. The last song, Party For Me with Ty Dolla $ign. Great vibe. They're not talking about anything on any of these songs. And that's my issue. There's none of these songs that make you sit back and listen to what she's saying, like Remember off Sold Out or Blue Dream, which is like I listen to Blue Dream every night before I go to sleep. Like there's none of that on this album other than Triggered, None of Your Concern, and Pussy Fairy. And that is my only issue with this album, is she's not speaking in the way that I know Janae has the talent and power to.
See, I think you said it right as well. Like, you're right in that she's not really talking about much on this album.
Yeah.
But with Janae, for me anyway, when you're that good at setting a vibe to the point where it's like, oh, okay, I've turned on this album, and no matter how I was feeling before I turned on this album, man, I'm relaxed. Like, I just want to sit back, just focus on me.
Yeah.
You know, how do I self-improve? How can I be better?
Yeah.
She's just good at setting that vibe where she's so good at setting that vibe even that I almost don't care.
Yeah, but you see, the reason I don't give her that cop-out is because at no point in her career has she just done vibe and no content.
Right.
Your whole thing has been, not only do I get that vibe, I also get amazing fucking like lyrical content. Like if I go onto Rap Genius or just search the lyrics of a song off Sold Out or a song off Sell Out. Like you just read it. Don't even listen to the song. You can read that song and say, "Oh wow, she's really, really talking." Like you really see the story she's trying to tell, and that doesn't come across on this album. And when you have the ability, as you've shown, even on songs on this album, as you've shown, to tie the vibes into the content, into the lyrics, I want that every single time. I want, especially when, like I said, you've shown that you can do it on this album.
Yeah.
So for me, that's my only hiccup on this album. Again, I listen to it all the time because the vibe is just so poignant. You know, it's so great. But in terms of content, man, I need something that I need you to hit me in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like she did, because none of your concern.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I really do.
Guess what we're saying? That's none of your concern. Let me stop.
Man, I think it's genuinely just one of those where I think I love the vibe so much. I'm willing to look over it because, again, like you said it multiple times now. She's done it throughout her career. So at this point, I'm not holding it against her because I know she can do it.
Yeah, but that's why I can't let you down. I can't let you let me down because that's what niggas did to. That's what niggas did to that Toronto nigga, and all of a sudden they're getting Tootsie Slide, and now you're talking about, oh, he's lost it. When I was telling you that on Views, you were telling me, nah, it's a good album. You want to fight with me at Cheesecake? We're not Drake podcast, but like that's what I'm saying. I can't, especially like I said, as a consumer, like I always want what I can get, and like I said, it's a good album. I like it, I listen to it all the time, but don't slow down on that content because as soon as you do that, then I feel like I lose you for good, and I can't lose that aspect of Janae's music for good when she's so elite. Like she's literally like the one of one, in my opinion, of just like packing her music with not just great vibes and vocals, but then boom, I'm gonna hit you with every single line is gonna be so poignant and important.
See, there's a lot of people. Because as I said, like you're not the only person who told me they didn't like this album. A lot of people are kind of moving off of Janae recently because
let them. I'm deadly. Let them.
Let them.
Okay.
You guys can't see us, but this guy looked me dead in the windows of my soul.
Let them go. Like I'm still Janae. I am right here. I am one call away. Why'd you never call me? No, but for real, why did she never call me?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go on holiday from the podcast because you're saying crazy things. Janae ain't calling me.
Yeah, she is.
When truly, Janae, if you hear this,
hey, call me.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, anytime. There's 2 seats, right? You can bring Sean.
Honestly, I want to meet Big Sean as well. I have good things to say to both of you, to your faces.
I have great things to say to Big Sean. I'm also gonna. I gotta talk to Big Sean.
Hey, listen, man. I might move like that news presenter who couldn't remember how to talk when
bro.
We're just gonna have to move past it.
I was mesmerized.
Bro, and me, I was mesmerized. I couldn't talk. I wasn't even supposed to talk.
I was stuttering.
Yo, man. We're not gonna get into it. We won't get into it. We're a music podcast.
Can I transition, or do you have something you want to pull up?
I have something I want to pull up.
Okay, pull it up.
Because this is another album that a lot of people, and I understand why, didn't really listen to this album.
Okay.
They released an album a few years ago. And I say they because they're a duo.
We know it doesn't even. You wouldn't even think they're a duo.
Yeah, bro, the way their voices harmonize is almost like it's one person.
It's almost like it's one person.
And it makes sense because they share DNA.
Yeah, come on, man.
Man, these guys, they released an album a few years ago. I didn't like that album personally.
Right.
Because it felt very teen bop sort of album.
That makes a lot of sense.
They released an album this year.
Yeah.
And before they released the album, they said, we sent it to Beyonce.
Yeah.
And Beyonce didn't have notes.
Okay.
And I said, that's a good sign. Because, Beyonce doesn't have notes and it should be a good album.
Mm-hmm.
Chloe and Hailey.
Yeah.
Harley. The Ungodly Hour.
The Ungodly Hour.
Amazing album.
Yeah.
Amazing. I really love this album, man.
Talk about why. What is about the album? How long is it? Talk to me about the album. Why?
Listen, man.
What catches you about this album?
13 songs.
It's 13 songs.
37 minutes.
That's perfection.
Honestly.
That is chef's kiss. That is golden.
Man, like, it just so concise.
It may as well be 12 because the intro is 28 seconds.
The intro is the first song.
Mm-hmm.
Because when truly, the intro and Forgive Me, they're basically the same thing.
They mesh.
You don't even realise that it's changed song.
Right.
It's just, how can I put it? I feel like if there was an artist where you asked me whose year is it this year, Chloe and Harley would have to be in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time I see them, and the way, especially the way they're promoting this album, the way they're performing songs off of this album, wow.
That's sensational.
Through quarantine, in their back garden, just making it do what it does. Man, if we're going through the track list on here, Forgive Me, what song?
Mm-hmm.
What song? Baby Girl, what song? Do It? Do I have to say any more?
I remember, so I didn't live with this album. I listened to it, and I think because of the time it came out in a weird time.
Yeah.
So I haven't lived with it. But I remember listening to it and thinking, this is a really good album. Like, this is a really good...
Really, really good.
Really good music.
Really
so this is something you've, like, lived with throughout this year. It's really held you.
This is something I've repeatedly gone back to, because there's just a lot of songs on this album.
Yeah.
Again, because of their last album...
Yeah.
My expectations weren't immediately high. If I hadn't heard Do It before the album came out, it wouldn't have been an album that I necessarily would have even tuned into because of the last album.
Yeah.
But this is such a different look for them. Like, from the point where they remixed Do It and you have Doja Cat, City Girls, man, that just tells you that, they're in a different lane now.
Yeah, they're in a different bag.
Like, this is what this is a rebrand for them.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm excited for their careers moving forward.
Where do you think their future lies, like, going forward?
Crazy heights.
Yeah.
Crazy heights. Especially if they stay in this bag. Yeah, because this bag it's not... This is like singing. This is similar to how we said about Brandy.
Yeah.
These guys will just flex on you.
Yeah.
Just because they can.
Just because.
And that's not really a lane that they're going to get much contention in with the way R&B is moving in now. Where niggas are just singing because, listen to how good I am.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I see them reaching like levels of superstardom that, especially when they have Beyonce in your corner, like, it's not crazy to think, not crazy that they could be on the Beyonce album. It's not crazy that Beyonce could be on their next album.
Yeah, next album, potentially.
And if you have Beyonce, then Jay-Z is right there. Jay-Z gonna be on it? I don't know, maybe.
Hove ain't doing that.
He might.
Hey, Hove, if you're listening, there's a seat here, like...
Hey, you're right next to me. It's
crazy. Right there, like...
Hey, look, you have my chair.
I'm gonna get Hove in it. I promise you, I'm gonna get Hove in it.
I don't even want to interview. Let's just talk.
Yeah, let's just talk.
Have an interview,
Let me have dinner. Let's have dinner.
Honestly. Don't give me the money. I
want dinner with JC. I don't want dinner. I just want a picture. I want a chain. Let me lie to you. I want a chain.
I just want to shake your hand.
Yeah.
And you can carry on moving.
That's
you
it.
don't have to hear my name.
That's it. I want a chain. Can I transition? I'm going to transition to another duo. So that I can transition to who I really want to speak about. But I'm going to transition to the duo first because they at least released an album. You do engineering.
Yes, sir.
Which means you did math.
Yes, sir.
Which means at one point you did addition.
Yes, sir.
You did subtraction.
Yes, sir.
You understand multiplication.
Yep.
Do you understand division?
Yes, I do.
Do you see what I did there?
I see exactly.
Because the people that I'm speaking about, they go by the name of division.
Man.
Amusing her feelings.
You know what's so crazy?
Yeah.
I haven't listened to this
album. And we're telling them we have an R&B bag. Crazy. It's cool. It's cool. This album's 16 songs and 56 minutes. It's a really good album. It has great features. Party's on here. Jesse Reyes, who I may speak about later, is on here.
Right.
Hendrix, Ty Dolla $ign, Popcorn, Summer Walker, Chantel May. Now, I've skipped over someone because I'm coming back. Do not worry, I am coming back. I really love this album. A lot of what you were saying about Chloe and Harley just now, you can say about this album too. These two men just mesh. Their vocals are so amazing. The writing on this album is like through the roof. Like just little things as you're listening to it, you'll just catch something that one of them said. You're like, oh, this is beautiful. And the content is just, it's food for the soul.
Right.
It's food for the soul. Now I'm really understating and not doing this album justice, right? And the reason I'm understating and not doing this album justice is because I need to just skip straight to song 13. Because song 13 on this album is called Between Us, right? Yeah. And it features, listen, you and I talk.
Yeah, we do.
Okay? We talk.
Occasionally.
Occasionally, right? And we talk about music every now and again.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
and both of us are R&B fans.
Yeah,
right?
Yes, yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, right? And I feel like you'd agree. Maybe you won't, but I feel like this is true. It's quiet for a lot of these R&B niggas out here, male and female.
Okay.
Because one person, like one singular entity, has the whole R&B game in a chokehold. Like when this person decides it's time, everyone has to shut the fuck up because it's time. Listen, because she only dropped one song this year, just one. But when Snow Allegra says,
move aside. Move aside.
Every single one of you, go sit the fuck down. Go and sit down.
Hey, yo.
Go make me a cup of coffee and sit down and watch greatness.
Listen, because we've invited a lot of people up here today.
Snow,
the second you say you want to come up here, I'm cancelling with everyone else.
Everything.
Jay-Z, stay home.
Stay at home. Because listen. She dropped, oh my goodness, fam.
Oh, man.
Snow Allegra dropped a single this year. Bearing in mind, she dropped one of the best R&B albums of the past decade last year. Those feelings again.
Man.
She came back this year for no reason whatsoever. For no reason. Bearing in mind, I was meant to go see Snow Allegra in concert, but COVID shut me down. It was meant to be April 22nd, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
COVID just so ignorant.
Mad ignorant. But it's fine. Snow said, Paul, I've got you. I've got you. I'm going to post all of these pictures on Instagram. But on top of that, I'm going to give you a song.
Man.
The song's going to be 3 minutes and 27 seconds long. It's going to be 3 minutes and 27 seconds of perfection.
Man.
Of greatness.
Listen, that song, it heals you. It heals you. Whatever you're going through.
The song is called Dying for Your Love. Oh my goodness.
Man.
Fam.
Crazy.
There's something about hearing a song called Dying for Your Love while you're going through a breakup. Like, just different vibrations. Like, all of a sudden, you're in your ex's DMs doing that raging. Like, as a matter of fact, that was the one who... No, like, she had it, like... Snow's... First, her vocals on everything she does. Her vocals on the song Between Us with Division is like... I don't know how she does it. I don't get it. And it's just... It just sounds so distinctive and, like, beautiful every single time.
See... Especially with... Cause I love Snow. I love Snow. The only reason I didn't even listen to this Division album, if we're really getting into it, their last album, September 5th, well, that's not their last album, but the first album I listened to from them, I loved the first 2 songs, and then the rest of the songs, to me, were boring.
Okay.
A lot of people told me, they love that album.
Yeah.
So then, after that, and again, it links back to the Chloe and Harley conversation, where I didn't like their first project.
Yeah.
And it's only because I listened to one song of the next project, the single that they released.
Right.
That's like, okay, I'm going to give this next project a chance. I didn't hear any songs from any of these 2 albums. So for me, as much as I'm hearing people say, I love these 2 albums that they released since, I'm just not excited to go and listen. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I understand. But, you see, for me, I got excited for this album because they released Between Us as a single before the album came out.
Okay.
The track with Snow. And again, she absolutely just... I mean, they were amazing. But I'm keeping the focus on Miss Snow Allegra.
Right.
And I want to take you back to Dying for Your Love as an example. Her writing is just so, like... It's mind-numbingly amazing. Like, I go over these lyrics, like, every now and again in my head, because it literally just, you shouldn't, the amount of pain that you actually have to go through to be able to write like this is unbelievable. And then to perform it the way that she, like, has the ability to perform it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Her vocal talent's different.
It's absolutely insane. Like, just the way she starts off, and one thing about Snow, she gonna croon.
Yep.
Snow is gonna croon.
Yep.
Nigga, they ain't crooning in R&B no more, man.
It's really crazy.
Where's the crooning? As someone who can't sing, but I will croon.
Happily.
How can you people that can sing not want to just be croon? But Snow will croon on an intro.
That's what she does.
And then she comes in, tell me how are we supposed to still be talking every day when everything between us just completely changed? Oh, wow. And tell me how am I supposed to go ahead and just erase every feeling, every memory we share? Why? Because I was dying for this love. This song, like that's the first verse. She just hits you out the back. I have to. I'm going to. I just want to make sure I round this off in like the correct way. And you guys are gonna hear it. If you haven't heard this song, I don't know where you've been. You have to have heard this song. It's up there as one of the best songs of the year. Easily. And it's just again the writing, and maybe this is something we'll talk about. The writing in R&B these days, is on a whole nother level.
People, you know, it's crazy because it's like everyone's hurt at the same time, and it just leads to good music.
Exactly that. And so, listen,
man,
speak on it.
Listen, man, Lucky Day, Painted, the album,
the deluxe, by the way, because the OG came out last year.
Yeah, no, this is the deluxe.
We're talking about the deluxe.
This is the deluxe. Listen, man, 19 songs.
It is 19 songs.
1 hour, 23 minutes.
It is 1 hour and 23 minutes.
It's a long album.
It's a long ass album. R&B niggas been doing long albums this year.
It's what they do.
It's what they do.
Because they're playing the streaming game.
Niggas just be crying because Entanglements was a long ass album.
Man.
We're not talking about him. But anyway.
Man, this album here.
Lucky Day.
Different.
Yeah.
Different. And as I said, it's my second favorite R&B album this year.
What is it about this album? How was it? Was that straight out the gate? Did you hear this and say, "Oh my goodness"? Did you have to live with it? Talk me through it. Talk us through it.
Listen, as I said, I hadn't heard him much before.
Yeah.
So it was one of those, you know, when you carry on hearing people talk about this one guy.
Yes, sir.
And for whatever reason, you just haven't heard him.
Yeah.
The same way with Joey Badass, I kept on hearing people talk about him. I never listened to him.
Joey.
Fam, the second I heard Know Some More,
yeah,
I was like, oh, no. Rahim, you have done yourself a disservice.
Right.
Because this song here, if he carries on in the same vein for the rest of the album, then you have to become a fan for life.
100%.
So the next song, he follows up with Late Night.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't have to wait for the whole album.
Yeah.
You're a fan for life. Yo, he has a song on here which is just the remix to Real Some More.
Yeah.
And it slaps. Every song on this, there's no songs for me on this album that's skippable.
Yeah.
The whole project, different. And it's one of those, I've said it multiple times now, when your production value is a certain level, and the song just sounds sonically great.
Yeah.
You have me as a fan.
Production is so key, especially for these like modern day artists and R&B. In the way that they're doing R&B, it's not like we said. It's not as much relying on vocals as heavy. You know, so much more of it is about the production. It's about the beat selection and the melodies and the samples. So your production's key, and making sure that it's mixed well and, like you said, sounds good in our ear is very important. Because, like you said, a lot of them. Not necessarily Lucky Day, but like a lot of them, like their vocals aren't saving them in a sense where before you could say, I mean, it may not sound well and mixed, but y'all gonna hear these vocals and you're gonna be astonished.
Honestly.
So when you're not going that route, it's very important that your production is on point. And I mean, they just heard Roll Some More.
Fam. And then we look at the features, which there aren't even a lot. Yeah. There are not a lot of features because he really just stands by himself on this album.
Yeah.
But when we do get into features, we're talking Chronics. We're talking Babyface.
Babyface.
Yeah, a lot of you guys didn't hear what I just... Babyface.
The Babyface.
The guy who just finished washing Teddy Riley.
Twice.
Jesus Christ. Yo, this album is not a game. It's not a game. Like,
it's not a game.
Because we didn't even get into Floods.
That's true.
Which is my favourite song on the album.
Really?
Floods. Easily my favourite. Not even close.
Okay.
Not even close.
That's what I'm at you.
When you open your album up with Babe Say Something, We Should Be Ashamed, Don't Say Names, I Don't Want to Know, No Care for the Blame Games, Watch It All Fool. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Niggas be writing.
Oh my god.
I thought niggas be writing.
Nah, Lucky Day. As I said, my second favourite R&B album of the year.
I remember when this came out and you like maybe day after you like instantly messaged me like, you need to be listening. I was like, fam, I've listened. Like, don't, first of all, don't disrespect me like that. I was like, don't disrespect. So, I say that to say, I remember your excitement when it came out, and you've kept that now into October. So the fact that this is number 2 on your R&B albums for the year is very interesting. Which leads me to ask the question, what's number 1?
Man, Man, we're getting into what's number one.
Yeah, what's number one?
Listen, man, we've spoken about him already on this podcast.
Okay.
Now, here's where it gets a bit difficult. Because is this even an R&B album? It's tough to say because it's so abstract. The album is called 3, 15, 20 by Childish Gambino.
Yep.
It comes in at 12 songs.
Yeah.
58 minutes. I repeat, 12 songs, 58 minutes.
That's right.
Now, as I just said, this is one of the most abstract albums I've heard in such a long time.
Very.
Even compared to his last album, which we just finished saying, he started off the last album, he didn't say a word for the first 2-3 minutes of that song.
Yeah.
This album here, I remember I turned it on, because obviously he released it on his website.
Yes, he did.
A week before it actually released.
On DSPs.
And I missed it because I saw he had released it. I said, I'll catch it later. The next day it wasn't there anymore. I was pissed.
Well, I'm one of these people. I didn't listen to it on the website because music is already hard enough to listen to. If you make it harder, I'm not listening.
Yeah. When it comes to Childish Gambino, I'll go to wherever I need to go to listen. I don't mind.
I'll wait to listen on DSPs.
Nah. I'm in a rush. It's lucky that I couldn't catch it that day. And I'm upset I didn't catch it that day. Because for whatever reason, between the time that he released it and him putting it on that website, he decided, I don't want names on my album. I just want numbers. For the life of me, I don't know why.
I think it's really fucking smart.
It is, but it's annoying. Because now, when I start discussing this album, it's going to be tough. Because I don't know the names of any of the songs, except for one. I'm going to have to keep on checking.
I think this is fucking great. Because obviously, the song titles, people don't know, are just like, they're the start of the song. So track 5 is 1910 because it comes in at 19 minutes and 10 seconds on the album. I think it's fucking great.
It's genius.
I think it's genius.
Again, it's the reason it's one of my favorite albums because there's a lot of artists who release music, and for the most part, the way I envision artists making music is they say, okay, I want to release an album. The good albums, they'll say, okay, I want this theme, and then they'll make a bunch of music. They'll get a bunch of beats. They'll make a bunch of songs, and they'll say, okay, I want this song here, song here, song here, song here.
Right.
With certain artists, especially Childish Gambino, Tyler the Creator falls into this as well.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot more thought out in that they'll say, okay, I want to make a project. Okay, I want song 1 to start like this.
Yeah.
I want it to mesh into song 2 like this.
Yeah.
My plan is to have it like this, like this, like this, from start to end. And you can always hear it in the music. An album like this that starts with 0.00. Like for this, like even me with this album, I almost don't even count algorithm, time, and algorithm and time.
Yeah.
Or 000 because of how weird it starts. Right? And the reason I don't count those is because those actually have names to the song.
Yeah.
Once we get into 1238,
and now we just start going off number.
Man, I've been saying, and I've kept this for the first time I heard it to today. That is probably my song of the year.
Right.
Just because, man, that whole song, however long that song comes in at like what? Let me even check. Let me check for you now. That song comes in at about 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And the whole time, he's just flipping between sounds, between features. Like that song segments perfectly into almost 3 different parts of one song. And it's just so artistic, so creative, so well done.
He really does get in that creativity back, like, differently. So,
because he's not even, throughout the whole album, I can't say he's, like, talking about anything poignant. But it's such a project.
Yeah.
It's abstract art.
The theme is creativity.
Honestly.
The theme is art. Like, the cohesion of it comes from the fact that I'm just going to flood you with creativity. Yep. And it's something that's extremely hard to do. Like, I say this about Chance all the time. Like I say, you and I have Chance battles. One of the things I always acknowledge about Chance Rap is he is stupidly creative. Like, he is stupidly creative and artistic. I think when you're that creative and artistic, it's very easy to be over creative and over artistic. I think at times Frank Ocean falls into that as well. I think you try too hard to be creative, and it's about tailoring your creativity and your artistic brain to to tailor it into a way that it's still accessible to some of us who just don't have your level. We don't have your level of creative genius, and the great ones are able to do that. You mentioned Tyler the Creator. I remember when Tyler the Creator was on an interview with, I think it was Larry King or Larry David. I can't remember. Larry King. And just after Cherry Bomb had dropped, he said, yeah, my next couple albums, I'm already looking at ways I can use my voice to start singing. Like, I want to turn myself into Luther Vandross. And I remember laughing because it's Tyler the Creator, and he's like, he's clearly lying. And then the next two albums, he's been singing. And boy, like, they're two of the best albums that have come out.
Man. The way that they make their albums is so different, and you can tell.
You can feel the creative process on every single, you can feel the thought that went into why they use their voice in this way on this song compared to why they use it in this way on this song. You can feel why they chose to, however abstract this beat may sound, you understand, you can see what they were thinking, and you can see the plotting and the gears turning as you listen to that music. You can feel the internal dialogues that they're having of, I want to do this, I want to do that, rather than just other artists who, again, to their credit, do this very well, but other artists who may say, okay, the sound of music is going this way. Let me find a beat that's in this vein. Let me work with the producer who makes music in this vein, and then I'll find a pocket that fits in this vein, and then I'll go. No, you can see these guys saying, well, music is going this way, but I want to go this way, and I'm going to use my voice in this specific way, and I'm gonna give you guys 3005, and then I'm never going to give you a song like that again. I'm going to switch it, I'm going to give you Redbone, but then I'm never going to give you a song like Redbone again. I'm going to give you this, like...
See, and I think that's what I love about Child. It took me a while to understand that's what he wanted to do, but once I understood that, like, he's gonna give you what he wants to give you.
Yeah.
And as long as you can swallow the fact that what he wants to give you is going to be elite in one class or the other, then that's when you really fully understand who Chance is.
Chance?
Childish. Chance as well, but childish.
Yeah, we'll get to Chance.
Maybe not elite for Chance, but we move. As I said, especially we're going back to that 1238 song.
Yeah.
Man, when 21 Savage comes in on that song, because you hear that whole... Fam, he doesn't come in until near the end of the song. And it doesn't sound like a song that 21 Savage should be anywhere near.
21 Savage is a rapper, bro.
Yo,
he's a rapper. He really, like, he's one of these rappers who anytime you think he can't be on a song, he can be on a song.
Yep.
He's in that vein.
Yep.
He's in that vein. He's an amazing rapper, an amazing artist, and Childish Gambino loves him.
Man, this whole project, I haven't fallen out of love with it yet.
Yeah.
And it's something that I keep on coming back to, thinking, okay, it's not going to sound as good anymore. It just keeps on getting better for me.
So what keeps it above Lucky Days Painted?
Do you know what it is for me? One is a much more concise album.
Okay.
Concise, compact, and it just there's something to be said when something is so abstract, and like you're listening to it, like as I said, like you start the album off, and it sounds like a mess.
Yeah.
It sounds like, oh, you're doing too much. You're doing
way too much.
And then it goes into Algorithm. You're like, whoa. And then Algorithm ends, and it's messy again. But then it goes into Time. You're like, okay, I see what you're doing. And then Time ends, and it goes into 1238, and you're like, no, okay, this is genius.
Yeah.
And then you get into 1910, and it's like, okay, this is more genius.
Yeah.
2419, more genius. 3222, more genius. Listen, it doesn't matter what I say. I can say 8819. Listen, you're not gonna remember because the numbers. I don't know why he did I understand why he did the numbers. It's making it very hard to talk about this album to really point out my favorites.
Yeah.
Song number 10, Feels Like Summer, on the album is called 4226. But man, what a song. He released it last year. It still holds up. It's a great song. Like, there's nothing but...
It's just a factually great song. You said that is just a factually great song. It's one of those just vibes that you just hear it and, like, it does something.
And it blends in, so it doesn't feel like something that, oh, he just thrown it onto the album.
No.
It sounds like, oh, it was always going to be in this exact spot on this album.
This exact tape, yeah, it makes sense.
Which is why, again, this album, it just stands above almost every other album to come out this year for me. As I said last week, Reason is probably the only person for me personally competing with this album.
Wow. Okay.
But outside of that, this album's clear above everything else.
Very high praise. Very high praise. Very high praise. Man. Jasmine Sullivan. Lost One.
Man.
I mean,
man.
I'm like, every time I play that song, I'm left speechless.
Man.
Because how dare you? How absolutely dare you?
Have that.
How dare you?
There's levels to this.
How dare you have vocals? How dare you have writing that pierces the soul? And then how dare you have production like that? What? Listen, why don't they just let the beat rock anymore? Just let it rock. just let me come into the ambiance that you're setting. And she does that. That 30 seconds, first 30 seconds, we don't hear a word. We're just hearing key. Just strumming. And then she decides to come in and she's talking about what she's talking about. She said, "Don't have too much fun without me." Just don't. That's all I ask. Is just don't have fun.
Yeah.
Not even that I don't ask you to not have fun. Don't have too much fun. Don't let me see it. Nah, this woman, she had no reason to come this hard. Listen, and she came that hard.
I remember a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
Chris Brown released an album.
Okay.
An album that you specifically hated.
Which one?
Heartbreak on the Full Moon.
I don't think I listened to it.
Yeah, you hate the concept of it. You didn't hate the album.
Oh, because it was like, is that one of the ones where he's like, he does 800 songs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hated the concept of that.
You refused to listen to it.
Absolutely.
He had a song on there called Hurt the Same.
Yeah.
And every single time I listened to that song, I remember thinking to myself, man, I'm angry at myself that I'm not heartbroken right now.
Yeah.
Because there's songs...
Come on, man.
I just know that they hit 10 times harder.
Man.
If I'm going through it.
Man.
This is one of those songs. Lost One by Jasmine Sullivan.
You hear it.
I wish I was heartbroken.
You hear it. Like, I can only imagine for all I know, she's in a perfect... She's always just been in a perfectly happy situationship, marriage, whatever. And this was just... Let me just fuck around and put a song together. But I can't imagine it. Because the pain that comes through in that song...
Man.
Oh my goodness.
Man, it's raw.
Just takes you somewhere.
And when you can sing like that, I genuinely almost feel like someone is yanking at my heart.
Fam, it takes you to just like a different place. Like to hear those vocals, like man, and even like she said when she released the song, look, this song's about a breakup, but like it came out. The world is in a pandemic. People have lost people that they've loved in tragic circumstances throughout the year. People have lost people and they haven't been able to say goodbye. It goes out to them, and you can imagine like the pain in those moments, and being able to convey that pain in a song is just like, that skill is extraordinary. And like you said, the vocals they pierce at your soul, like they pull at the heartstrings, and the wording, like the lyrics, is just it's just something different. It's something that there are very few in music that are able to do that to that extent, to that level. This is just a beautiful, beautiful song. I don't know if an album's coming. I have no idea. But I mean, the fact that we got that song, I'm just so grateful. That is just.
I'll be astonished if we got an album. To be honest with you,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
It doesn't matter. Like if any of you have read my blog, Clearing Out My Mind, that's Clearing Out My Mind. It's available on my link tree. The link tree is at Paul_Olabayo. That's at Paul_Olabayo. Like I said this a few podcasts ago when I did my end of decade reviews. Her album Love Me Back was my favorite R&B album of the past decade, and the fact that she started off this decade with just one song, but the one song being so that powerful, standing against any song that I've heard this year. I don't have words. I really don't have words. I think it's just that's one of my favorite things about R&B is when I'm just left speechless. Yeah. Like, because I don't have words because you said everything in the song. There's nothing for me to add.
There's literally not much to say. There's certain songs that are just so great that there's nothing much more to say other than it is that great.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Okay. I'm a transition.
Okay.
Now, I just mentioned his name.
Okay.
A few years ago, I believe it was even Daniel who said it. Obviously, if you caught track 4, you'll know that Daniel.
Shout out Daniel Oderindi. Make a statement without saying a word.
Come on, man.
I said make a statement without saying a word. Continue.
Listen, man. I believe he described this person as Superman.
Okay.
And when he said that, I thought that is so apt. Because this guy does it all.
Okay.
He sings.
Okay.
He raps.
Maybe.
He acts.
Okay.
He paints.
Okay.
And listen, he dances.
Yeah.
He dances. He puts on shows.
I mean, I've seen times where he just...
Listen, we're not going to count. That doesn't count.
Okay.
It didn't count.
Alright, fine.
If we're talking about people with a catalogue of music,
yeah,
he just, a few years ago, just gave you a 40-song album. Now, should he have given us a 40-song album?
No.
Probably not.
Definitively not.
Probably not. Maybe not. You know, we can discuss.
No, we can't.
No, listen. Did he do it? Yeah, he did. Yeah, cool. Whatever. Yeah, cool.
Alright, fine.
Listen, man. Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Chris Breezy.
Okay.
Chris Breezy.
Okay.
Man. He teamed up with someone who we've also spoken about on this podcast. I believe now we're going back to track 3, The Ride.
Thugger.
Listen, man. If you're telling me I can get Chris Brown and Young Thug
Thugger
consistently for a 13-song album that is 47 minutes long. I repeat, 13-song album
which
that
is
also 47 minutes long.
That's a really great line.
Listen, man. And then on top of that, we've said here before, when the name of your album tells us what to expect off rip, it's something special.
It's very something special.
They call that album Slime and Beat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Young Thug's thing throughout his career has been Slime Season.
Slime Season 3.
Chris Brown's thing throughout his whole career has been R&B.
Yeah.
So now we're bringing the two together and we get Slime and Beat.
We're mashing it. Fusion.
Jesus Christ. And then on top, bam, they didn't even do science because they kept the B because it's breezy.
Chris Brown. I know they didn't catch it.
Man.
I'm glad that you explained it.
Man. This album here.
Some would say they went crazy.
Yo, for you guys who didn't even do the science, song number 2.
It's called
Go Crazy.
Come on, man.
And a lot of people, including myself, Song of the Summer.
Yeah.
Is a damn shame that we didn't get, that we were in quarantine. Because if we weren't in quarantine, if we were on the beaches of Portugal, like we should have been, man, that song would have gone crazy.
I can imagine.
Man, listen, man, I go through this album. What project, man?
What caught you about this album?
What caught me?
Yeah. What, like, other than the fact it was Young Thug and Chris Brown.
I was going to say, because that caught me. I was never not listening to this album.
But in terms of the music, like, what was it that, like, what stands out? How would you describe this album? If someone hasn't listened to this album and they say, I can't even picture Young Thug and Chris Brown being on the same song together, what do you say to them that eases that concern or makes them...
Do you know what it is?
How do you describe this album?
This album is what I expect from a Chris Brown and Young Thug album, right?
Right.
In that, it's not storytelling. It's not cohesive. Like, it's cohesive, but it's not the type of cohesive that maybe a Training Day 3 is.
Okay.
Where it's like, this song had to go here after this song.
Yeah.
But it's what you expect in that, you see these two names, and when you think of these two names individually, you think hits. When you think of them together, you think, it's definitely going to be a hit.
Yeah.
So when I'm listening to this album and I'm saying, there's about at least 50% of this that are just bops.
Yeah.
Majority of this album are just great songs.
Okay.
And it's weird for me because that's how when I listen to Chris Brown, it's different to how I listen to most other artists. There's only maybe 4 or 3 artists in the world that I judge by this metric.
Right.
Whereas, like, I'm not really listening to your album to see if it's cohesive. I'm not listening to your album to see if it's artistic or this or this or this.
Okay.
I just want to know how many songs are going to force me, when I listen to it, I have to sing this song now. Or I'll be walking around, I have to sing this song because it's on my mind.
Yeah.
I know it's not the same standard I hold everyone to, but it's just what I've come to expect from Chris Brown, especially when he gives me a 40-song album.
Yeah.
I have to start judging him by different metrics. And this album here, there were so many songs that when it dropped and the weeks after it dropped, I'll be walking around like trap bag going off crazy. So, bro, I'm literally, I'm just walking around, I'm just singing songs. I'll forget where the song's even from. I'm like, damn, I need to listen to this whole album. Like, you talk to the big slime. What? No, this album bops, different bops everywhere. Man. Not enough to be said about this album, man.
I want to transition into asking you a question.
Go on.
Because we spoke about a lot of albums today. And there's a lot of albums we haven't spoken about. Like, thus far, we haven't spoken about Brent Fires, who dropped an album this year.
Crazy.
Amazing album.
Crazy album, man. That album just gets better and better.
We haven't spoken about, I mean, we touched upon them, but we haven't spoken about The Weeknd. We haven't spoken about Party Next Door. So I want to ask you two, and we'll both be as quick as we can.
Go on.
An album, R&B album this year that came out that you think was slept on.
Okay.
And an R&B album this year that came out that you were wholly disappointed by. And it can't be Bryson.
That's a tough one. One that I think was slept on. CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green is Thomas Calloway.
You count that as R&B?
Huh?
You count that as R&B?
Of course.
I think you're really stretching R&B if you're counting that.
You don't count that as R&B?
I don't count that as R&B. I think you're really stretching R&B if you're counting that as R&B. I'm not mad at you.
What do you count that as then? If it's not R&B, then what?
That is very jazzy.
It is.
That is extremely jazzy. It's extremely... I don't know. I personally didn't... Like, when I can see conceptualize R&B this year, I wouldn't conceptualize that album. But I'm mad at you.
I think, yeah. Well, for me, anyway, when I hear CeeLo Green's always been an R&B artist to me.
Okay.
You know, some people... It's had times where you can say it was pop. It's had times where you say...
I mean, he came out as a rapper.
Honestly.
He started as a rapper.
This album to me anyway, is an R&B album.
Okay.
With jazzy undertones. You're right. I do hear where you're coming from with the jazzy undertones part. I think this was very slept on. Even me, I didn't give it the respect it deserved. Because when I download the CeeLo album, I know what I want from my CeeLo albums, innit?
You want those hits.
But he refused to give me that from this album.
Yeah.
But in refusing to give me that from this album, man, he really came to sing. He came to sing. Jesus, he came to sing, man. Like, I was shocked because I don't want to call it auto-tune, but there's is it auto-tune? I don't even know if it auto-tunes his voice, but he has that pocket that you usually hear him in when he's singing. He didn't touch it.
Not at all.
But he was just singing.
It
was just excellent. It was excellent. I know a lot of people haven't heard it. It's just a solid project. I think it was very much slept on.
This is a great fucking project. Solid isn't the word. This is a great fucking project.
It was so slept on.
Okay.
It was so slept on. I didn't hear anyone talking about it.
Okay, so then what disappointed you this year?
See, this album, it disappointed me for a multitude of reasons.
Okay.
August Alsina, The Product 3, State of Emergency. Listen, man, this album here. When August Alsina told me he was releasing an album, he was getting ready to drop an album, my head straight away went back to the testimony and how much I loved that project.
Fabulous album.
So I was like, man, August coming back. No matter what, I'm going to support August. I can't wait because I know I've been going through it.
That was a lot of people's stance as well. They said no matter what this album is, great or bad, I'm streaming it, I'm listening to it, I'm supporting it, I'm just gas it up like it's the best album I've ever heard. That was a lot of people's thought coming into that album. So you're not alone.
So the album drops, and my immediate shock is, oh my god, this is 27 songs and it is 1 hour 32 minutes.
Way too long. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Bro, like this, it's so long.
Stupidly long. Has no reason to be long.
And then I listened to it, and because of the stance I took before of no matter what it sounds like, because I know what he's been going through recently, I'm going to continue listening to it. I didn't like it from the jump. I thought it was bad.
Interesting.
I didn't like majority of the songs on the album.
Yeah.
Now, I carried on listening to it because I was like, I have to support him, and there are a few songs on there that I do kind of like.
Yeah.
Or that they're easy to listen to, even if I don't necessarily want to come back to them. They're easy to listen to.
Yeah.
Then I saw his rollout, which obviously a lot of people now know included talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. And the rollout for this album being that, to me, it was just always very corny.
Just mad salacious, mad corny.
And from there, I was just like, I don't even want to listen to this anymore to support you because you're showing who you are. And I don't like who you are. So I stopped listening to it. I thought it disappointed me as a fan of August. I've seen it beforehand. Yeah. It disappointed me as a fan of music. And it disappointed me as someone who was ready to support just someone who had a tough time.
Yeah, I remember when that album came out, I think I messaged you. As I was listening to it the first time, I was like, I will never listen to this album again. But he was 7 for 7 on the first 7 songs for me. I really did enjoy them. And then maybe later that day, all that stuff started popping off, and I was like, this is exactly why I didn't want. First of all, I really sat myself down to listen to an hour and 37 minutes of your music, bro. And it was just corny or salacious. I likened it to when The Game drops an album. It always comes with some sort of trickery and just nonsense on the side, and you never just let your music do the talking, and it really takes away from the album. And it hasn't lived at all. At all.
Like, I can't go back and listen to it. That's it. Even the songs I do kind of like from that album, I can't listen to it because now I not liking it, but when I listen to it, I'm picturing the clown thing that I know you've done, and I just can't respect it. It feels weird to even listen to the album in general now.
I feel you.
Disappointed. What about you, man? What are the albums that you love, that you think were slept on, and that you think were just completely disappointing?
I was thinking of a number of different albums in terms of being slept on. And it's hard because slept on is like how there are some artists who by like relatively unknown, some albums by relatively unknown artists. I really can't say that slept on. I think the people who know you who you are, listen to it and love it. One album that I think, at least for my circles, wasn't really given the credit that I think deserved was Before Love Came to Kill Us by Jessie Reyez.
Okay.
Jessie Reyez, if people don't necessarily know, if you are smart, then in 2017 you listen to Calvin Harris's Funk Wave album.
Man.
Calvin, I don't know. You said that was volume 1, so I don't know where volume 2 is.
Honestly, I'm waiting.
I've been waiting.
I assume it would have come out this year if it wasn't quarantine.
I assumed it would have come out in 2017, to be honest with you. But the last song is Hard to Love, and is beautifully sung by Jessie Reyez, and so I became a fan of that. And she dropped her album Before Love Came to Kill Us. For whatever reason, her label keeps forcing her to package deluxes. So she's got the original album, then she's got a deluxe, and then she's got a plus. So the album has been dropped 3 separate times this year. Zero sense whatsoever. But the original version is 14 songs and 46 minutes long. And it's just beautiful. Her vocals are insane. The writing, again, is beautiful. She's I don't know which Southern American country she's from, forgive me, but she ties in Spanish and bro, you put Spanish over a piano?
I'm here.
Oh,
yeah, I'm awake.
Boy. I was awake. Eminem has a really good verse on here, which is shocking.
Yeah, because what song was it? I was listening to a song yesterday. Oh, what song was it? Make it, boy. I gotta make it.
Oh, you can shake your head. With Big Sean.
Yeah.
For it, I can't remember what it's called now.
Eminem came on that song. I was like, what?
No favors.
No favors. He came on. I was like, nah, this.
Why did he do this? And you gotta remember how coveted that first Eminem feature was to Big Sean. And he just comes and does bullshit.
If there were favors, I won't take it. What?
Why not? That doesn't make sense. But he has a really good verse on here. 6 Lack has a great verse on here on the song Imported. Some of you may have heard it. Where he's like, "Hi, my name is Black, but sometimes people call me 6 Lack." Like, no, your name is 6 Lack. You stupid idiot.
We're trying to give you blessings.
Stop it.
A hard name.
I think she floated all over this album. I think her vocals are amazing. The writing is amazing. It's really that combination, which I mean, we've not stopped saying those 2 words throughout this podcast: vocals and writing. I think she has that combination down to a T. Album I was disappointed in. Boy, you're not going to like this one, Rahim.
I already know what you're going.
You already know where I'm going.
And it's only because you said it on.
I said it on track 2.
And a lot of you guys, you don't even know where it's going to go with this. So go back, listen to track 2, and then come back here at this point.
Yeah. The album I'm going to go with is The Album by Tiana
You're
Taylor.
bugging! You're bugging!
Listen, I know for a fact that Tiana Taylor hated her first album, right? She hated her first album because she didn't like it because she didn't hear it before it came out. The first time she heard it was in Wyoming when Kanye was playing his album. But I love Tiana's first album. Keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. The song's like, "Oh, you're gonna love me." And then she get this album. And listen, every single one of us, like, I don't know a single person who knows who Tiana Taylor is who does not love Tiana Taylor.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Tiana Taylor. Love everything about her. Her family, or at least the perception that her family give, because we don't know anything about their life. The music that she produces, her videos, the videos she produces, her aesthetic, the way she carries herself, the way she moves in a room full of vultures. Shout out Hove. Like, everything about this says I should love this album. I hated this album. Hated it from a minute. Like, I didn't like it at all.
What?
I didn't like it at all. It's not in the sense of like it was too long. I didn't like this album at all. I listened to it once. I said I'm never listening to this again. I did not like this album at all. It did not do it in any. It hasn't aged well. I don't think at all. I don't think it's aged well. I don't think people who liked it at the time are still listening to it and aging it think it ages well. I don't think it's sequenced well. It is too long. She had, listen. I don't think Kanye did her justice on that first album. Okay. I don't think at all. I think the album that Tiana wanted her first album to be was not that, and that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But I do think there is so much truth in less is more. I'm not talking about song length. Just in general. There are a lot of features here that don't need to be on this album. You have features for the sake of having features. Because Erykah Badu will do a feature with you doesn't mean you need an Erykah Badu feature. You don't necessarily need Rick Ross on, like, they're just you don't, less is more of you and less of all of this other stuff. And then in the you, I don't feel like I get enough. Like, I just for me, I was just very disappointed in this album. It came and it went for me. I think in the way that like R&B albums typically have staying power in our socials, like just like on social media, like you can't go anywhere without people still talking about SZA's Control, right? Yeah. Like, we're still, maybe it's because this is the last album she released, but we're still all here salivating over Auntie. Like, when R&B albums come and they hit, they like a seat at the table. Like, we all stay with them. This for me has come and gone, just on the socials that I see. So maybe my perspective is off. But like I said, we just spoke about Snow, and her album still has a stranglehold on all forms of R&B. Like, this does not. It, to me, has come and gone, and it's sad because I love Tiana Taylor as an artist. There are songs on here that came out before the album dropped, which obviously I like. How You Want It with King Coombs,
love it,
great song. The song with Kehlani, Morning with Kehlani, another great song. There's goodness mixed in here, but as a whole, I was just wholly disappointed by this album.
I think you're bugging.
That's fine. We can agree to disagree. That's why we're here. I'm stubborn. You're stubborn. Yeah. We're Nigerians. Yeah. All of a sudden, two stubborn Nigerians.
Oh, man. They didn't even do the science.
At all.
They didn't know what's stubborn.
At all.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. But for me, that's just... And I was disappointed.
Listen, man. I'm going to start off with 23 songs, 1 hour, 18 minutes. It's long.
It's long.
Do I like every song on this album? No. No, definitely not. But there's something to be said. I don't know. I think the way this album opens is just so impactful to me.
Okay.
I remember the weekend after this album came out, I went to Hyde Park with a few friends, right? And I remember them saying, like, you can handle the intro, like, you'll just pass out. I said, no, give me more credit than this. I wouldn't just pass out.
Yeah.
I'll probably just freeze up and be no help.
Yeah.
Because, damn, okay, my girl's giving birth, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in the room. I was damn near having a panic attack. I was like, yo, I can't breathe. But man has to do that because he performed in the finals, so, you know.
He didn't perform, I mean, he played.
He was there. Listen, he laced up. He was on the court. He was in the finals.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he was there. That's all we ask you. No, I love the intro. Come Back to Me, man. Come Back to Me is different to me. Especially the Rick Ross feature. I loved it. Now, do I think Rick Ross should have been on the intro, as in the opening song to your album? Maybe not, but because I love the song so much, I don't mind. Wake Up Love and Love, especially because it's a song that they then use to announce that Teyana's pregnant again. And then you have a man on the feature. The music video is beautiful. Yeah, loved it. Low Key featuring Erykah Badu. Yeah, not necessarily for me. Let's Build, not necessarily for me. 1-800-19, not necessarily for me. Morning with Teyana Taylor and Kalani. Love it.
Bro, we're not going through this whole album because
we don't need to.
We're not going to find a middle ground. I just think this. I think she decidedly didn't come correct on this album. I think she could have come so much better. And I know that on the next album I'll probably love it. Like there's nothing about her as an artist. This album just wasn't for me. I don't think she hit.
I'm just shocked that you don't like any of the songs. Like come back to me.
There's not, like I said, other than Morning and How You Want It, which are two songs I heard before the album came out, so they fit in a different bag. I have not come back. There's not a single song on this album which, when the album came out, I was listening to, or since there's made me think I need to come back and listen to this song.
So, what did you not like about Come Back to Me? And that's what's spinning me the most.
It didn't stand out. It's not even necessarily that I didn't like anything, but it didn't stand out. Like I'm playing it, and the album is just going, and it's another one of those albums where I was just like, when does this finish? Like this is nothing is standing out. And for someone who maybe it's because I had such high hopes of wanting this album and believing this album was going to be stupendously amazing, and it just wasn't. And it never reached that level. And listening back on the times that I did, I listened to it 2 or 3 times when it came out, as I always do with albums, give them as much fair a chance as I can. It's like I felt I was able to double down and stand corrected on my double down. Like it never lived.
Not correct. This is, I don't know, man. This is a crazy take from you. It's a crazy, I thought, especially after the last time we spoke about it, that we touched on it, I knew that you weren't the biggest fan of this album.
I said it from the jump, though. We had this conversation off my, back when this album came out. I said I'm not really big on it. And like I said, I didn't know if that was just the time when the album came out. But I'm not someone who is I'll go back and listen to an album, and I'm not shy about changing my takes. I change takes on albums all the time, and there's nothing to change it. And I'm still, I'm still disappointed in this album.
Honestly, the biggest shock, because I'm not okay. Cool, you don't like this album. The biggest shock to me is you telling me you don't like the way that it's sequenced from 1 to 3. Just that little sequence there, to me. One of the highlights in music this year in terms of, oh man, this song's well, first of all, you opened up your intro like this, amazing. You went into song 2, amazing. Went into song 3, amazing. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree, because I love it.
I'm stuck in my ways. I never change. Shout out Hove. There's R&B. There's so much more we could have got to, man.
Bare.
There's lots.
On,
there's so much more we could have got to. Like I said, we didn't really touch upon Party and The Weeknd. You know, there's so much more we could have gone to. We didn't touch on Alicia that came out. We didn't touch on Kehlani. That came out, and I think Kehlani, personally to me, has one of the best songs of the year. Easily one of the songs in my top 5.
We didn't get into UK R&B.
We didn't get into UK R&B. We didn't get into artists like Jazz Karis, a young up and coming artist. A lot of R&B, Mahalia. Different names. There's been a lot.
There has.
There's been a lot. I think we're giving you. Listen, man. If you take anything away from this podcast, it's very simple. Snow Allegra. We are here. That's it.
When truly, our real fans will be at Snow Allegra to come up.
I was really about to say, every single one of you listens to this album, listen to this track 5. You should go out and at Snow Allegra.
Man, just even a phone call with her.
Simple phone call.
Listen, I just want to tell her I'm a fan.
That's it. I just want her to know that I'm here and I appreciate what you do for me.
Honestly.
I appreciate what you've given me.
Man.
We want to round out this week in a similar fashion that we did last week. And we want to celebrate some people that we know that are doing just huge things in terms of just starting their businesses. Through this Black History Month, we want to celebrate Black people and people of colour doing great things, whether it be in their community or whether in the world of business, and just starting out being phenomenal people and doing phenomenal things, and just setting such a high standard, which we all need to follow. So, Rahim, if you're ready, I'll pass over to you to shout out.
So, once again, friend that I've known for years.
Yeah.
For years now. Mutual friend of both of us. Her name is Michelle. She is one of the co-owners of the business Be Michelle.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a makeup brand, and as you can hear on the mic, me being the guy that I am, probably not the best to sell makeup.
No, at all.
Right? I already know what I'm talking about when it comes to makeup. But what I can say is that I bought this in support of Michelle.
Yeah.
For my mother.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, Paul here, you know my mum.
I do.
She doesn't really wear makeup like that.
Not that much.
When I tell you that she used it once, she said, "Wow, Rahim, this is amazing." She used it again and again and again and again until there was no more to be used.
There we go.
Now this makeup here comes in multiple nude colors.
Yeah.
It is vegan.
Yeah.
Which basically means it's cruelty free.
Cruelty free.
Listen, man, you're getting a high end product for affordable prices.
Come on, man.
Provides long lasting, pigmented nude glosses for all skin tones.
She's flexing on you, man.
Hey, listen. Oh, you know what? Yeah, don't forget the makeup.
Yeah.
But I want my props for how good I'm selling this.
Yeah, you're killing it.
I know nothing about makeup.
You're killing it. Yo, you're killing it. You're killing it.
I'm doing the job.
You're doing the thing. You're doing the thing.
Nah, man. It's really quality stuff, man. Yeah. Again, it's Be Michelle. The app will be in the description.
Yes, it will.
Buy that up, man.
Shout out Michelle, man. I'm again, as someone who doesn't necessarily utilize makeup products, just seeing like the way that company's been moving, like it's phenomenal. They're doing big things. Honestly. Shout out Michelle.
If I'm correct in my they moved into eyelashes as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, man. The lash game is real. So like, shout out Michelle, someone who, like you said, we both know for a number of years. Real good people, real great person, a great human being, honestly, doing great things in that business. If I may, man, if you follow me, you already know where I'm going. You already know who this is because I'm part of the family. I'm part of the team. Isley Clothing. That is E-L-I-Z-E with an accent. Isley Clothing. Oh my God, it is UK streetwear fused with African-inspired patterns. What Isley does is they want to celebrate Africa. They want to celebrate the beauty of the continent of Africa. And we don't say the continent of Africa to be ignorant, to act like Africa is one country. No, we do it because the beauty of Nigeria is not necessarily the beauty of Ethiopia, which is not necessarily the beauty of Rwanda, which is not necessarily the beauty of Kenya. But the beauty in each of those nations is something that is so prominent within our UK society. Like, you can't speak about Britain and the United Kingdom without speaking about the huge impact, sometimes forced, sometimes coerced, and sometimes volunteered by the nations that make up the continent of Africa, right? And we see in so many different aspects of the United Kingdom culture, whether it be our music, our television, blah, 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 the connection and the chemistry between those two. Look at our music scene. Who are the biggest artists in our music scene, whether it be J Hus and Mo Stat? Even you look at how big Afrobeats is in this country. It's a fusion of the two, right? It's an amalgamation of African sounds and African cultures and using African drum and using African samples and bringing it into UK drill music or bringing it into UK pop music, UK trap music. That's exactly what Isley does with its fashion, with its streetwear. You're going to see the traditional African patterns, the traditional African designs, but we're going to see it on UK streetwear. Isley Clothing. And really one of the things that I have loved about what Isley does is that they also support communities back home in Africa. This year specifically, they're partnered with Excel's charities. And so it means that for every purchase, not some, every single purchase that is made, 10% of every purchase gets put into a fund, which goes to Excel's charity. And Excel's international charity this year is building a school in Nigeria. So every single sale, 10% of every single sale goes to help fund a new school in Nigeria. Beautiful. Check it out. It's at Isley Clothing on Instagram or isleyclothing.com. Shout out all my people at Isley. They also have an amazing blog section on their website. It's just a humble plug. I don't even know why I said that. I just want to let you know that it's that.
Yeah, I need to get one of those hoodies.
Listen, man.
I need one.
I need the paint splash bombers came out maybe just at the end of September. God, yeah. It's only because I'm broke that I don't have 3. And he knows that. It's only because I'm broke that I don't have 3. I've just amazing the trajectory that they are on. Listen, man, get it while stocks last, bro. Because once it's gone, it's gone. We going to the moon and back. So yeah, that's Elise Clothing. Again, will be in the description, but check it out. Love. Man. Track 5.
Man.
Track 5.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. I'm a professional podcaster.
Yeah, you are?
You're a professional podcaster.
We out here.
We're professional podcasters.
We are out here.
You have to talk to us different now, man.
Come on, man. Price is up.
The price is up.
Price of the brick going up.
Come on, man. We are the brick.
We are the brick. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker. I sell
it. Oh, man.
Rahim.
Yes, sir.
For track 5.
Yes, sir.
We gotta give them what we give them.
Yes, sir.
Have you got recommendations?
I have a recommendation.
For the people at home?
I have one, man. I have one. Now.
Give it to them.
Listen, man. I could have gone with a lot of things.
Ooh, you could have gone with a lot of things.
I thought to myself, Rahim, this is R&B week.
This is R&B week.
We're coming here to talk about R&B this week.
Come here to talk about R&B this week.
Are you just going to give them another song that they might not have heard of? Or are you going to tell them to go and listen to something, go back and do the history?
Go back and do the science.
I decided I'm going to tell them to go back and do the history.
They're going to go back and do the history?
They might have heard the song.
Okay.
I don't care if you've heard it.
I don't care.
You're going to listen to it again.
Listen to it again.
We're going to celebrate
Yeah.
our black musicians.
Talk to them.
We're going to make sure that we get our streaming numbers up.
That's right.
Go back and listen to what I consider one of the best R&B songs of all time.
He said the best R&B songs of all time. He didn't start.
Listen, you might not agree with me. You might think I'm wrong.
You might think he's wrong.
This is the best R&B song of all time, and you will not change my mind.
Okay.
Listen, man. Blackstreet.
Blackstreet.
Don't leave me.
Don't leave me, girl. Oh my goodness.
Please
stay with me tonight. Oh, greatness.
Listen, man. One of the greatest R&B songs of all time.
Greatness.
Go and just celebrate.
Just
black
vibe.
Excellence.
Just
man.
vibe.
Man, what song?
Vibe. Yeah.
What song?
Yeah.
Paul, recommendation for
man, that was beautiful. I can't top that. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna bring you to 2020. You've heard of the Isley brothers, yes?
Yes, sir.
Well, one of them has a daughter. And her name is Alex Isley. She's a beautiful, phenomenal artist. And earlier this year, she teamed up with 2 of the most amazing artists in the planet. You want to know who they are? She teamed up with a man called Masego. Oh, I know you guys have heard of Masego. Wow. And then on top of that, they added in another man called Dine, who is another phenomenal artist. And they have a song, Vibes. If there's this song is the first song on my vibe playlist. Not a single lie is being told to you right now. The song is called Good and Plenty. That's Good and Plenty by Alex Isley, Masego, and Dine. Trust me, you will not regret those 3 minutes and 25 seconds. It's one of my favorite songs of the year. Alex Isley is an artist who now anything she drops ever, straight download to my phone, because you can't drop a song that is this amazing and then have me go back and listen to your EPs, which are that amazing, and think I'm not just going to be here for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, Alex Isley, I'm not leaving. Alex Isley, Masego, Dine. There are 3 chairs in this room for each of you.
Honestly.
There's enough. If you want to bring someone else, I'll stand up. It's not that deep.
I don't need to be sat down.
I don't need to be sat down.
I don't even want to be sat down.
For real, if I could, I would stand up.
Man.
Those are your recommendations. Track 5.
Man.
Track 5. There was so much more we could have gone to today.
Listen, man, we just keep on doing this.
We do indeed.
The consistency is crazy.
The consistency is unparalleled.
Man, who else?
Who else but us? Come on, man.
Paul, man, you're playing us out today.
I am indeed. We're 5 episodes in. We didn't know if we were going to make it past 1 episode. We didn't know if we were going to make it past 2 episodes. But we're here. And
man.
With that, I just want to celebrate all of you guys. And so I'm just going to leave you with just a token of our gratitude.
Okay. So, as Paul plays this last song.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to need all of you guys at home.
Yes, sir.
Especially the guys who listen, because there's a few people who are almost not even listening right now. Listen. Wake up.
Wake up.
Listen, Nigeria never carries last.
Never.